So, sorry, this is my phone. That's why there's a weird orange thing in the background. Whatever. But I was thinking of a story time idea. Also, guys, a Hand People will be coming out later this evening. It's a short one. I'm so sorry. I've been busy lately, kind of. Not really. I've just been out of ideas. So please comment ideas for a Hand People movie. But today, I'm going to talk about the kid that claimed my room. So this kid, he goes back, like, me and him, like, I would say, like, 3 years ago. Maybe 4, I'm not sure. I was around 8 or 9 years old. This kid was around 6 or 7. Kind of hard to, like, hang out or bond with a kid that's, like, 2 to 3 years younger than you. But I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just deal with it. So, this kid, me and him, we're just talking, and okay, I don't know about you guys, but I think most kids, maybe I'm like bipolar or weird, but I like to switch hobbies a lot. Like, for example, I have a lot of Nerf gun videos. Number one, because you guys love them. You always smash the like button on them, and you keep commenting more, and I like making them, and I like Nerf. Like, when those come out, it's when I'm, like, into Nerf. But then the next week, I'm, like, into video games. Then I'm into, like, Rubik's Cubes. Then, like, weather tracking. I don't know if you guys knew this, but that's one of my hobbies. I don't know. I like switching hobbies a lot. And they're mostly very expensive hobbies, which I hate that, but whatever. I don't care. My family's, I guess you can say they're rich. They're above medium class. So yeah. And I'm sorry if the screen's so glitchy. But anyway, I'm like from that sort of family. My parents aren't really rich, but the other side of my family, they're above higher, like, medium class for sure, but they're not like rich, but they spoil me. That's what you need to know. Therefore, I get a lot of stuff. And that kid, it's like, he used to like Legos, which there's nothing wrong with that. I liked Legos as his age. I still do a little bit, but I don't play with them. I mean, I'll watch like a video or two about them, maybe like every month, but I mean, whatever. There's Minecraft now. And I told him I was around like 8 or 9 years old. That's when I was getting into video games. And I told him about it. Next time he came over, like a month later, he comes over sort of rarely. Like, he either comes over once a year, sorry for that notification. He already comes over, like, every 6 months or every month, which is fine. But he always comes back with the hobbies I used to like a month prior or 6 months prior. Sometimes it's, like, the same hobby, because, like I said, I like having different hobbies, and it always goes back, like Nerf guns. A month later, I like Nerf guns again. It's like that. But that's kind of rare. Sometimes, I still have this fear to this day, especially after this experience, but this is the part where he claimed my room. Now, I always had this fear, I kind of said that weird, but I always had this fear that one day somebody will, like, take a picture of some of my stuff, or heck, even my whole room, and like post it online, say, hey, look at my room, and it would go viral, and I wouldn't be able to stop it. But now I know ways to stop it. I can just create an account on that social media, and I can just completely roast them. Now, this kid, he came back liking, I think it was, I don't know. I really don't. I think it was like Rubik's Cubes. Came back liking Rubik's Cube. He showed me one of his speed cubes that he got. It was like $40, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. And he was kind of eyeballing my stuff, because I changed my room a lot. He's like, what the heck happened? I'm like, oh, I just changed my room. And he goes up to my LEDs. He's like, is this like a string with like Christmas lights on it? And I'm like, no, they're LED light strips. And he's like all eyeballing my setup. He's looking at my bed. He's like, how much money did this cost in total? And I told him, I was like, it was about $500. And he looked at me like, what? I'm like, yeah, $500. I'm not saying the LEDs were expensive. It's just the desk that I bought, which is very small. And like the laptop I got, it was a ripoff. It barely even works. And like a gaming chair I got. Yeah, my room changed a lot before he came. And he was like eyeballing my stuff. Then I was like sitting on my bed, like against the wall. He was sitting like on the edge of my bed. Therefore, he had his like phone out. It was like a cheap iPhone. iPhones aren't cheap. Apple rips people off. Apple sucks. I'm not saying if people like Apple that's bad. I'm just kind of saying they rip people off. It was like an iPhone 5. He had a tiny phone. He was texting his friends. But it was small, but I could still see what he was doing. And I was kind of being stupid, I was seeing. And I went to go use the bathroom. And I came back, and he was taking a picture of my stuff. Like, off my room. He was, like, by my doorway. I was kind of, like, the bathroom's right next to my room, so I kind of walked behind him, looked at him. He took, like, a few pictures of my room. I tapped him on the shoulder. I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, crap. I'm like, what? He's like, oh, I didn't know you were here. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, I thought you were still in the bathroom. I'm like, bro, the toilet is so loud. So he's like, whatever. And after that, we kind of just sat on the bed in the same position. He sat on the edge of the bed. I sat against the wall. Sorry about that. My nose is freaking stuffy. It's not winter yet. Whatever. Anyway, so I saw him, and he was texting, like, I guess his friend or his friends. Yeah, his friends. He had these two friends, I guess. I didn't really know. And he was, like, texting him, like, hey, look at my room. And I was kind of thinking, there's no way his friends are going to believe it. Did his friends not see his room prior to it? And he said, texted them again, I moved houses. I'm like, what the frick? That's literally what I did in my head. I was kind of like mad and sad. I'm like, dang it finally happened. I'm not even done customizing my room. It's going to look even more crazy. And guys, I'm sorry for the laggy gameplay. Anyway, so this kid, he was texting, like, look at my room, I moved houses. His friends were like, whoa, that's crazy. And I'm like, come on, why do y'all believe this? And he texted him, hold on, I'm going to the bathroom. And he went in the bathroom. I think he was in there for like 5 minutes. I don't know. He was probably constipated or something. But he was in there for a while. And I was kind of scared he was going to be in there for like 10 seconds. So I quickly texted him, like, is this, I'm going to call the kid. Is this kid's friends? He's like, and then they texted, yeah, aren't you still kid? And I'm like, no, I'm not kid. I'm the kid that owns the room. And they're like, what? I thought that was kid's room. And I'm like, no, he claimed my room. And I sent them like a selfie type picture. It was cringy. I did like the okay got him sign, like above my head. Not above my head, but by my head. I was like, did it on the side of my head. And the background was my room. And they're like, are you serious? I need proof. I need more proof. And I sent them like a link to my YouTube channel, which is regrettably because they could just make a video like completely like showing off my face in it because I haven't done a face reveal, which I will at 1K subs, which I doubt we're ever gonna hit that. But I mean, YouTube says I'm gonna hit it in like a year. So I sent them that picture, and I sent them the link, and they're like, whoa, this is your room. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh. And I said, and I didn't say, but I facepalmed at myself for a second. I'm like, are you kidding me? Kid's gonna see the text. And I said to screenshot the text if you want to look back at them, because I'm gonna delete them, because kid's gonna come back from the bathroom. And they're like, okay. And the other kid that I was talking to, let's call him Jeff. There's like, the other kid. He was like, I don't know how to screenshot. And I'm like, do you have Apple or Android? And he said, Apple. I'm like, oh, then just press the home button and then hold the power button. He's like, I don't think mine has a home button. I'm like, bro, whatever. So I don't know. I forgot what I did. Oh yeah, I remember. I told him like the other way. I think it's like to hold the power button and one of the volume buttons. Oh no, I forgot it. He did that. He's like, thanks. Then I deleted the text, and I went to go sit on the chair, but I'm like, wait, he's gonna suspect something's up, even though he's like, currently he is like 10 years old, I think. Yeah, he just turned 10 like a week ago, and whatever. I just sat back on the bed where I was against the wall, and his phone was in a different position, like on the other side of the bed. He's like, "Did you touch my phone?" And I'm like, "No," and he kind of looked at me like, "Okay." So then he left, and after that, I kind of just sat for like a few hours because it was like 7 o'clock when they left, and it got dark early. It still does, and I kind of just sat in my room just thinking about it until like 10 p.m. I'm like, am I ever going to tell this story on YouTube? And yes, I am now. That was around 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half ago. Not that long ago. It was the beginning of August. And if this kid ever does something again, which he's probably going to come back, like they said that they're going to come back between my birthday, which is only 2 weeks from now, September 14th, I turned 12. I don't sound like I'm turning 12. I sound like I'm turning like 14, but whatever. Which I don't know why I say that. Sometimes my voice is high pitched. Sometimes my voice sounds like an air horn gone wild. And it's raining. There's like this stupid tropical storm that's by my area, and I'm like, bro, can you go away? Whatever. I like the rain, sort of. And they're gonna come back between 2 weeks from now, or like around New Year's Eve. They're gonna come back somewhere in that time window. So if something else happens, I will update. By then, I'm probably gonna have even better stuff. And yeah, I don't know, guys. It's insane to me. Stuff like this, it's probably gonna happen even more because my setup's gonna look dope and OP as hell. So, whew. Anyway, guys, this was a long video. New video will be coming out as this video goes up. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.